This is KYW TV, Philadelphia. Now, coverage you can count on. This is KYW News 3 at 11.
You talk about March Madness. The fountains at Philadelphia's Logan Circle going full blast tonight, surrounded by spring flowers in the midst of a fierce, wind-driven snowstorm. Good evening, everyone. I'm Larry Kane. Hope you enjoyed the game. The weather, well, that's another story. We all hope this kind of weather was over for the season, but road conditions have been deteriorating by the hour, and the morning commute could be difficult, and that's at best. The commute tonight isn't any too pleasant either. Hundreds of commuters had to use shuttle buses when weather-related signal problems shut down SEPTA's Market Frankfurt L between 5th Street and Allegheny. High winds, they are still a problem right now, whipping the snow into a wall of white at times. Trees and power lines were down in various places like here on Lincoln Drive in Philadelphia, adding to the hazards for anyone who really has to be out tonight. If you do go out, be alert. The combination of wet snow and high winds made driving in the storm almost impossible at times. Visibility was a major problem for many drivers, like here in Atlantic City. From a driver's perspective, the spring snowstorm created blizzard-like conditions. So the question is, how long will the snow continue? For the answer, let's check in with meteorologist Tom Lemaine in the News 3 Storm Center tonight. Tom?
Larry, the storm is, believe it or not, starting to taper off. We're seeing some signs of that now, rising barometer, and the snow shield is starting to move out of the area. Let's take a look at it right now on our snowcast. It has been swirling around in place all day long, but as you see from the west, it's starting to lose its back edge and it's moving toward the east. But it's still snowing all the way down to the Virginias. Those of you who are traveling north, either by way of plane or by car, you better check ahead because a lot of the major roads, particularly in northern Pennsylvania and through New England, are really impassable tonight. And you might want to check with your airlines, too. Boston still receiving very heavy snow. They have near blizzard conditions up in that area. Our area, as you look far to the west, you can see the precipitation shield is starting to break out. However, 1 to 3 inches of snow in the city, 4 to 8 in the suburbs. It'll be wind-blown snow in many of the areas, so a winter storm warning remains in effect. Now, tomorrow morning, it'll be still windy. We'll have just flurries. The snowfall itself will have ended, but blowing snow will still be a problem. Slippery and snow-covered roads are also a problem, particularly the secondary roads tomorrow morning. Improved visibility in that the snow won't be falling, but there will be some blowing snow. And we'll see some sunshine tomorrow afternoon that will quickly melt away the snow that is left. But I think the worst of it is over right now, Larry, but we have had some varying amounts of snowfall. Double the amounts of snow in areas that are just 4 or 5 miles apart from each other, and we'll check those when we come back. In addition, you'll see some of those snow reports in our live coverage coming up. Larry?
Okay, thank you, Tom. As Tom mentioned, Willingboro, New Jersey received the most snowfall in the Garden State. Right now, News 3's Ren Scott, our snowbird, joins us live from the scene with an update on conditions tonight. Ren?
Good evening to you, Larry. Even at this late hour, the wind continues to blow. The snow continues to come down. Now, I am standing here on Route 130 right now. This major roadway in pretty good shape. They had to shut down a small portion earlier on, but the plows have been through. That's in pretty good shape. But let me take you over here and show you the problem. Here's a side road over here. They simply have not been able to get to these side streets, and they are going to be a major problem in the morning. The other major problem is that this storm simply caught a lot of people off guard. Yesterday, the buds on this tree were ready to bloom. Tonight, they are covered with the heaviest snow of the year. Driving gusty winds have helped to drop some 7 inches of snow on towns like Willingboro, catching just about everyone by surprise.
I put all my winter coats, in the back of the closet and everything, and got my winter boots away. Got the ones for the summer out, and,
And then boom.
And boom, yeah, I got to go get them now.
Even snowplow operators thought they had seen their last opportunity to make a few bucks.
I had it all packed away.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was lucky this time.
Pulled it out, made a few bucks.
Oh, pulled it out and paid for my gas, I guess, for the summer.
Earlier in Atlantic City, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts drove sand up and down the beaches and caught boardwalk visitors completely off guard. Throughout New Jersey, slippery roads have caused dozens of fender benders, and officials fear snow-covered power lines could lead to outages later on.
There are some trees that have a large amount of snow on them that may pose a problem with wires coming down later on.
And as people plowed home through snow-covered side streets and unshoveled walkways, their thoughts were already focused on the morning rush back to work.
If it gets colder tonight, in the morning, it'll freeze, and then everything's going to be frozen. It's going to be awful tomorrow morning.
And, of course, Larry, that's the big concern, what's going to happen tomorrow morning. But as I said, right now, snow continue to coming down. It is tapering off. But if you come down here, they're talking about 7 inches or so here in Willingboro. And you can see we got a pretty good snowball here. And I know up in Bucks County, they also got some good levels. So the snow's on the ground. They're working on the roadways. And hopefully by tomorrow morning, they'll have things under control for the rush.
Big question now, have you seen any icing, any signs of icing on the major roadways you've been on tonight?
No real icing problems. The plows have been out. They've done a pretty good job. But again, the concern is if the temperature is going to drop tonight, and with the wind that we're feeling right now, still pretty strong, that can cause icing problems as well. So we haven't seen any right now, but we've got several hours before the rush. That's the big concern.
Be careful getting home. Thank you, Ren.
All right.
Pennsylvania suburbs also hard hit by the unexpected storm. They're coping with accumulating snow and dangerous driving. News 3's Stephanie Stahl is live in Radnor with more tonight. Stephanie?
Well, Larry, the snow has started to taper off just a bit out here, but throughout the night it has caused a variety of scattered fender benders. However, right now all the major roadways remain open. As we said earlier, remember yesterday when it was warm and sunny, and now this? That's what people can't get over.
This is pretty incredible for this time of the year. It's just amazing what's going on.
It was like the dead of winter, not the beginning of spring. Snow blanketed the western suburbs. The side streets were covered, and driving was treacherous on highways like 202, slippery and slow with poor visibility. And some spent this last night of March stuck in the snow.
I think it's wrong. Somebody made a big mistake. It's not for us.
It's definitely not for the forsythia. The yellow blossoms were covered with snow. Shovels, almost retired for the season, were put into action, along with salt spreaders. And here it is the day after Easter.
It's a mess. Unexpected.
Yeah?
But, yeah, especially yesterday when you're outside in your short sleeves, and then you got to hit this today. But, no, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
It's a little slippery out there, but, well, March can always be tricky.
And tricky is right. Now, tomorrow morning, be prepared. This will be no April Fool's joke. You might want to have a scraper handy, because look what you're going to have to get off of your car in the morning. It's going to be a little bit of a job, so you might want to start out a little bit early. Larry?
We hope you have a scraper.
I do, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Stephanie. Stay with KYW for complete coverage of the spring storm. Tomorrow, you can get weather first on News 3 this morning. And by the way, it is a half hour earlier at 5 a.m., along with updates on traffic conditions. And when you're in the car...
Weather. Every day it moves and changes. There's something happening somewhere, and we bring you all of it in WeatherScope, the day's top weather stories, with live on-the-scene reports during major breaking events, up-to-the-minute forecast for the nation and specific regions, and fascinating insight that lets you understand exactly what's happening and why. WeatherScope, it's all the weather you want, every 30 minutes on the hour and half hour on the Weather Channel. In this half hour, WeatherScope, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, TravelWise gives you the latest on travel hotspots. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, the storm update. Right now on the Weather Channel, your local forecast. WeatherScope.
March is going out with one big roar in the Northeast as we have a northeaster that is just pummeling Boston, New York, Hartford, Providence with just a big mess. Hi everyone, I'm Warren Madden. Dave Schwartz with me. Welcome to WeatherScope.
Good to see you too, my friend. I'll tell you, not only is the snow a problem and the wind taking power lines down, but close to the coast, there's some high seas too. Right. So coastal flooding could be a problem. We're going to take you to the coast of southern New England, just a few spots, some near the coast, some away from the coast, so you can see what's happening tonight. You can see the wind-blown snow here, the slush on the ground in Marshfield, Massachusetts. And since we shot this video, more has piled up. Here in southern Massachusetts, winds are gusting over 50 miles an hour. Earlier, 72 mile per hour wind gust in southwest side of Boston. Salem, New Hampshire, kids were enjoying it. I'll tell you, a lot of schools are going to be closed tomorrow, what with all this heavy snow and slush on the ground, winds, gale warnings are in effect, storm warnings are in effect, not only because of the wind and the snow, but because of the waves crashing on shore as the wind piles it up there. And folks here in Winthrop are keeping a very close eye on the seas, angry-looking seas. The next high tide will be at 5 in the morning on Tuesday. The red on the map indicates where storm warnings are in effect tonight from Eastport, Maine, down through Boston, the Cape and the Islands, Long Island Sound, and Delaware Bay. All in on it, and you know why. If you live anywhere around here, you've heard the wind whistling around, the trash cans being blown over. It's been rough. Thousands of people are without power tonight due to this nor'easter. And to the south of that, winds have been pretty strong into Norfolk. I understand that in the Hampton Roads in southeast Virginia, there have been some power outages too, due to wind. There have been some snow showers into Norfolk and Williamsburg, also Salisbury. But the heaviest snow is right here from the lower Delaware Valley, where a winter storm warning is in effect, all the way up into Boston and environs, where a blizzard warning is in effect. Welcome to April. Thus far, here in the Catskills, say southwest of Albany, down into the Poconos and northwestern New Jersey, over 1.5 feet of snow have fallen already. Some is still suspended in the air because the wind is so strong. And in some isolated cases, over 30 inches of snow have fallen due to this one storm, that one area of low pressure. This cold front that's attached to the low around here blew through Atlanta last night. You had some gusty winds, you had some rain showers, but no snow. Now you're stuck with dry air, lighter winds, and a freeze warning in effect in Atlanta, Rome, Gainesville, Asheville, Greenville, Spartanburg, Greer, Raleigh, Durham, and Greensboro. High pressure's moving in, clear skies, it's cold, it'll be cold again here tomorrow. High pressure centered right over Chicago. This is the break. This is the break area between this storm, our nor'easter, a little wetness in Texas, and another powerful storm here in the west. With more on that, here's Warren.
Thank you very much, Dave. Well, as we go back to the current map, you can see, my hand just popped in here. You can see we do have this low pressure system double-barreled. See how tightly packed these isobars are, the lines of equal pressure? Still very breezy across the west, and we do have snow going on across western Colorado right now and across portions of the Tetons and up into the Sawtooths and the Bitterroots and the Cascades of both Washington. We focus in here, and you can see this front has blown through. We saw hail earlier on today south of Portland that caused a 30-car pileup on I-5, injuring 17. Not too often you see that kind of thing in Oregon. As we check out what's going on right now, 68 in Salt Lake City. In fact, we have some video of Salt Lake City. 68 was the actual high. Look at this, though. That was the high. It came early in the day, but now temperatures have dropped into the 30s. You saw over an inch of snow. Could see another inch or two here during the night tonight. So a huge change in the weather for Salt Lake City, and that's just an indication of what happened when that cold front